Happy birthday, America. You are now 247 years old, which makes you almost as old as the average Greenland shark. So, congratulations. We do actually have quite a lot of American viewers. I think it's sort of half of our viewers are American. So, it's very important that we don't say anything that upsets them too much, which is why this segment is going to be all about why I think that US independence should be repealed. I think it's an experiment that has run its course. It's time to wind that in. I think we need to sort of bring them back into the fold, and I will be giving my reasons for that. But before I do so, let's just mention this fantastic chat that Carl and I had on why American society is collapsing. So that's a fun one to spend your 4th of July holiday watching if you haven't already. Now, yes, Independence Day, 4th of July. Americans are going to be doing a lot of this. If you're listening to the audio, bunch of Americans, box of fireworks behind a car, setting off one in the garden.
I was really hoping you were going to get David Attenborough.
Rescuing children because something seems to have gone wrong. Oh, look, we've got a spark in the box of fireworks behind the car. Garden furniture flying. Crows falling out of the sky. Toddlers screaming. Cars exploding. Yes. So that's what the Americans do today on the 4th of July. And so, that's all good and fun. But I want to take you through my case as to why American independence needs to be repealed. They need to be returned to be a county of England. I mean, they can have a couple of counties. And here are my reasons. Number one, tipping culture.
What?
Yes.
Oh, not fly tipping. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, no, tipping culture.
I forgot, because we don't even try to do that.
Yes. So I would take you to the tweet of this one, because this is one that you commented on, actually. But this is New York waitress slams European after large group leaves only a 10% tip on a $700 bill. So they left $70 as a tip, and she thought it wasn't enough. So she went out with, I expletive hate Europeans.
Specifically Spanish, I believe she was
yes,
most upset with.
But I think every European would probably do this, because 10% is more than enough for this sort of thing.
Far too much. What's your wage?
But I mean, if you think about that, so she was expecting 140
from one table.
Yes,
probably serving, I don't know, 4 or 5 tables at least.
Yes,
and all of them. What?
Yes,
over a couple of hours.
Well, I mean,
$70 an hour from one table you're getting.
Yes, so even if she only gets $35 an hour per table, which seems quite low, apparently, from the basis of this. So that's a safe bet. Right, and then she's got 12 tables, which would seem reasonable for a waitress. You're making on a 6-hour shift $2,500. Right, from a job.
I mean, she's struggling to get by, my friend.
Yes, and the thing is, I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking, how are these jobs not awarded on the basis of sexual favors?
Some of them are.
Yes.
Not so much on I'm sleeping with the boss, but is she pretty? If so, put her out front. I mean, I've said about this. I mean, even in our country, that's what my experience has been of working in pubs. If you're ugly, you work in the kitchen, and if you're pretty, you work in front of house.
But I mean, with this job specifically, when you're getting like $3,000 a night out of tips, right, and there's basically no qualifications to do that job apart from the ability to, smile and carry plates and be pretty, right? Mm. So I'm not sure how that job would get doled out, because the job is more valuable to the person receiving it, isn't it? Because they're basically getting into an easy job that gives them thousands of pounds. I don't see how these jobs are not awarded,
I don't
on your knees.
Situations like that at all. You know what was annoying recently? I don't know if you've got it, but there was a guy who ordered a $20 pizza.
Yes.
Okay. So the delivery guy comes. He tips him $5, 25% tip.
Yeah.
And the guy says $5 tip. It's a bit low for a house like this, isn't it? And walks away after giving him a $20 pizza.
Well, that was going to be my second point, right? Because apparently, since the pandemic, Americans have spread tipping culture out to basically everything.
Tip your landlord?
Yeah. So so when you go to McDonald's or you counter food, there's now a tip bit that you can put in.
But to be fair, that's here as well. Where it's like, would you like to give to charity? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That's why I came to McDonald's. It's cheap.
Yes.
I'm not wasting more money.
But anyway, I've decided that this is reason number one why American independence has to go, because their tip culture is just ridiculous.
You know what's actually annoying about their tipping culture? They didn't used to have it.
Didn't they?
Like there's I hate to reference it, but Adam ruins everything. He actually did an episode on this. It was pretty good. Where it was like tipping culture used to be seen in American life as corrupt because, well, the rich guy is going to get better service than everyone else just because he can unleash a large tip. So it was kind of rude to even offer tips because it was like corruption. But then the 1920s came, and all of a sudden everyone wanted tips.
Right.
And ever since then, it's just become part of American culture. Now they act like it's always been there, and it's like, no, this is fairly new.
Yeah, that's got to go. The other thing that annoys me is they don't include the taxes when you're walking around the shop. You have to go to the till to find out how much stuff costs.
I think this is one where we might actually get the American audience to agree.
Yes.
This is
Oh no, I think they should agree on all of this.
Okay, well,
I can't believe
I don't think they're going to agree with the first one from the conversations I've had.
Right. Okay. The dates are plain wrong.
Yep, they're not going to agree to that, but that's not even negotiable.
The metric system.
9 out of 11.
The metric system. They only use it on soft drinks because even an American would feel a bit silly about having a gallon of Coke.
Do they? I'm pretty sure they use ounces.
You
get ounces of soda.
No, I've seen like 1 and 2 liter cups.
That's got to be some kind of import.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'd burn that if they found out.
Right. I mean, the next thing that really gets me is our next image. Right. Thanksgiving. Okay. So basically, the Americans, they have 2 Christmases, and they can never explain why.
This is just jealousy.
Yes, but I mean, the amount of Americans I've met over the years, and I always try and get them to explain to me, why do you have 2 Christmases? And they can never explain. They always start off with, oh, it's really straightforward. And then they give me some story about how they were worried about the Indians killing them, which doesn't seem quite right because they're Hindus and very peaceful people. And then they basically say, oh, yeah, we have them. And it's like 2 weeks before. I just do not get Thanksgiving at all, despite the fact I've asked them to explain it multiple. Do you get this?
Well, this is like hobbits having second breakfast. I mean, if you're American, you like your food, and therefore 2 Christmases.
Yes. Right. The other thing with Americans, and because I used to work in the city just next door to the Merrill's building, the Merrill Lynch building. There's lots of Americans coming out there, so I got to know a lot of them, and they have this weird cultural thing where they end the working day, right, and they will say to you, "Do you want to go for drinks?" Right, plural. Right, and then you go to the bar and they will order 1 drink and then they bugger off. Okay. Whereas British, they say, "Oh, should we have a cheeky half?" Or a pint. It's always singular. Should we have a right? And then you're there until 11 at least, or possibly Sunday if it's a Friday. So Americans don't get right. And the other thing, right? Next image.
Is this what the segment is?
Yes, no, it's just me complaining about America, right? Right. This cup thing, right? They do that as well.
Yeah, I've never been, so I always assume that is a joke.
Yeah, I always thought that was just like
it's a movie set.
Thing.
We don't want to have glasses everywhere because someone's going to smash it.
But no, apparently I've spoken to them. They all do that, and these things, it is actually quite clever. They got little lines on them. So you see, there's like a line at the bottom, and then there's another little line higher up, and then there's a line near the top. So that is.
I mean, no, but
so well, you can't quite see on that image, but basically the idea is you put spirits up to the first line, you put wine up to the second line, and you can have beer up to the third line.
That sounds like the worst dirty pint of all time.
Training wheels for Americans drinking.
Why don't you just drink?
Yes.
Do you want more? Drink it. If you don't, don't drink it.
Yes. But yeah, there is that. Next one. Where is that? Yes. This used to get me as well. Right, Americans would come to London and they would try and talk to you on the tube.
Okay, yeah, I agree with this.
Yes.
All right, we're talking about the motherland now, so I can actually have a strong opinion, which is shut up.
Yes.
This isn't just Americans. Like, the worst one actually is Arabs.
Oh, really?
I used to date an Arab girl, so I could speak with this with confidence. Is that they? I can't stand it. They will get on a bus, never mind the tube. They'll get on the bus and they will FaceTime their whole family, it seems, and speak for the entire bus ride out loud in Arabic. And they're there.
You don't want somebody loudly speaking Arabic on a bus, not after 7/7.
No, not really. But then, like, you're at university, so there's 2 or 3 of them doing the same thing all over each other, and you're just like, "This is hell."
But no, I'm not even talking about speaking to family members on phones because I can literally you will be.
I'm just saying that the Arabs beat the Americans in this regard.
Right, but you'll be on a tube, and an American will try and strike up a conversation with you. The last time that happened to me, the conversation he tried to strike up was, "Isn't it weird that nobody talks to each other on the tube?" I just sort of smile and nod and sort of turn my back on him before we could continue the conversation because you just do not do that on the tube. The only exception, right, is taxi drivers.
Yeah, you don't shut up.
Yes, taxi drivers never stop. So if you're an American, you ever come to England, you can talk to the taxi driver, but you can't talk to anybody on any other form of transport. Just so you know,
even if they're your friends, try to shut up.
Yes. US comedy, right? Now actually, Chris Rock explained this very well recently. I saw something from him, and he was explaining that the difference between American comedy and British comedy is that American comedy is basically just being incredibly loud and shouting at everybody so that everybody in the room gets the joke, right? And British comedy is being incredibly subtle, and only the smart people in the room actually understand the joke, and that's kind of the point.
It's not really true, but
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
I quite like that.
I like the point. Loud
Yeah.
equals funny is the bane of comedy.
Yes.
That's definitely true. I think Stephen Fry did it better. I don't know if you heard his
Right.
description.
No.
Okay, so there's a scene in the movie. Guy walks down after shagging some bird, and then he sees a hippie playing a guitar on the stairs.
Yes.
So it's crap. So he grabs the guitar and he smashes the guitar. Now, an American comedian would want to play the guy smashing the guitar, whereas the British comedian would want to be the stupid hippie who just had his guitar smashed. Do you get that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Right. Next
Yankees
one.
in the comments just be like, I don't.
Actually, I don't have an image. Oh, yeah, I sort of. Right. College fees. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm really getting into the meat of this now. Right. So, colleges, which is basically universities in America, right? So basically, what you have is this whole class of people, this whole institution, and they all hate America, right? They hate the Constitution, and they hate you.
So we give them loads of money and our kids.
Yes, yes. So this is the thing. So how do Americans react to this nest of vipers? What they do is they say, "Here is my child, and here is my life savings. Do with them as you will."
It is true.
Yes.
I even agree that the UK education system is worthless now. Unless you're doing STEM,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for my kids to go there.
But the thing is,
it's
at least,
pointless.
but at least in the British system, you're only in debt for like the first 10 years. The American system, you're in debt for the rest of your life.
What do you mean?
Well, because it costs like 10 times as much as it does here.
I'm in debt for the rest of my life. I don't know if you know.
Right. Okay. Right.
System changed. I've got an amount to pay, and I'm never going to pay enough to even pay it off. So I'm in debt until I'm 65.
Oh.
So
Okay. I basically had one good bonus and it was cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a different system. You know what's annoying?
Okay.
Actually, last year they changed it, so now all students will be paying double what I'm even paying.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, both our systems are getting more and more
get the
worse.
fundamental concept of clearly these people hate you, and yet they all do it. They all give them their children and their life. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why don't they just not do that?
I mean, I agree.
Yes.
I mean, American education is
Yes. Now, this guy, Bargy, he made a particularly clever point, actually, because there's all this student loan forgiveness stuff that's being talked about at the moment. He made the point, if the Republicans are smart, they propose a bill to pay down student loans by seizing college endowments. Right, and then you've got this table showing the various, endowments that these universities have built up. So if you're listening, Harvard has got, 50 billion? University of Texas, 40 billion. Yale's got 40 billion. Stanford just under 40 billion. MIT's got 25 billion. So all of this money has sort of been accumulated by these colleges. So if you want to pay off college debt, why don't you just seize that, right? And that will give you the numbers are something like there's about 800 billion in college endowments. So take that. The college debt is apparently 1.8 trillion. So you pay off about 45% of it. So it's not the whole thing, but it's a pretty meaningful chunk.
Yep.
And you take away money from people who hate you and are trying to destroy your country.
Seems like a good deal.
Yes, I think that's a good deal. So, let's repeal this independence and we get that sorted out for you. Second thing, Americans only get 2 weeks holiday. I think they agree with me on this one as well.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've got some friends who work in service, and because of the weird way American holidays work, which is the basically bugger all protection, what one of them is able to do, for example, is just turn to her boss and be like, right, I'm taking the next month off. I just go around the world and come back. Because there's no, like, oh, we have 4 weeks, so you have to book it off, and then it's there, and then we have these dates, and you ran out of holiday. I'm so sorry. Instead, there's just no agreement on how much holiday there is. So while she's off, she doesn't get paid. While she works, she gets paid.
So that was the thing I was reading on this, is apparently some of the trendy employers are now starting to offer unlimited holiday, like in these tech firms and stuff.
But is it paid or unpaid?
Yeah, it's paid.
Okay,
But it's unlimited. So you get your salary and it's just unlimited
the
holiday.
lady I'm speaking of, it's unpaid. So it's just
Right.
like, I don't have a
Okay.
job for the next month, but I'll be back in a month.
Yes.
Cool.
But no, apparently that's the thing in some of these tech firms. It's now unlimited holiday, and people basically take as much as they want. But because their work ethic is built up in such the way it is they only ever take a couple of weeks anyway. And I was just thinking, what if you started offering that sort of arrangement in France or Spain?
Oh, sorry, I'm still sleepy. So sorry.
You would never see. You'd basically be the public sector, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I thought that was funny. Right. Next thing, we can show an image on this, but I'm gonna take 4 things in one here, and I'm gonna put them all under the same heading. Right. So the first one is free refills on sugary drinks. Okay. American bread. Have you ever tried that? Basically, all
No.
American bread is brioche because they put an absolute ton of sugar in it. It's unbelievably sickly.
Do you know about Subway? Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, well, I tried them here.
So the bread was declared cake in Ireland because legally it has too much sugar in to be declared bread.
Yes.
So it is cake.
Yes, and they probably toned it down over here as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're ever an American, you try the bread, it is sickening. Right. So number 3,
The unlimited refill thing. I do have something to say on that though,
Yeah.
which you might
Go
not know, and a lot of people don't know. I didn't
Yes.
know. Turns out, so McDonald's, for example, it's their company policy worldwide. So McDonald's corporate that if you take your drink back and it's soda, you can get a free refill anywhere on earth at any McDonald's location. Now you might be confused by that because you probably tried it in the UK or something. They told you to bugger off. Well, that's the thing. It's the culture locally in the UK, for example, that we don't offer refill
Yes.
stacks, and if you ask them, they'll just look at you
Yes.
weird. But if you demand them to get out the rule book, if they go and get out the terms and conditions of their franchise,
Have you
yes.
actually done this?
So a friend of mine, so she was Kuwaiti, so back in Kuwait they have free refills,
Yeah.
and she came to the UK and she was like, "What the hell is this?" So she went, "No, get it out," and they took it out. And they went, "Oh, you're right. Yeah, you do have to get free refills."
Yeah,
So
that's handy to know if I ever go into McDonald's.
I assume it's the same for Burger King, etc. I just don't know. I just happen to know she tried it with McDonald's and it worked.
Let's find out.
So
Right. Actually, that was going to be my third point on this one. Is the Americans, they keep their Taco Bells, their McDonald's, all of their stuff. They open 24 hours a day. Right.
yeah.
And the fourth one is this one, Halloween.
Sorry, was that a complaint?
Yeah, you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute when I put these under a category. The fourth one is this Halloween. So it's basically begging for middle class people.
I do kind of hate Halloween.
Yes, and basically what they do is they go round and they get free sugary stuff from all the families in the area, and then they all sit around and eat it. Okay, so the reason I put those together: free refills for sugary drinks. American bread is all brioche. Taco Bell open 24 hours a day, and Halloween, which is begging for sugar. I'm going to put all of those under the category of trying to figure out why they're all so fat.
I don't know.
Yes. Because they're captured by the sugar industry. That's my point on that. Right. Next thing. Americans, they all think they're racist. But they're not.
They try.
Compared to literally anywhere else on earth.
Meet a Romanian talking about gypsies and you will feel...
But basically just go to anywhere else in the world and have a conversation about races, and you'll quickly discover that the Americans are not racist.
Not number one.
But they don't do that. So here's an article that sort of went around a while ago. Is McDonald's gets into a bit of an uproar because they just put a sign on their store saying no black people. And the thing is that's not the only reason that was a story is because it was McDonald's. I mean, I've travelled around Asia and it's quite common for restaurants just to have a sign outside saying no Indians or no blacks or anything like that. They don't think anything of it. They just think that's perfectly normal. I mean, last time I was travelling around Asia, I got friendly with these 2 Indian chaps, and one of them was quite dark. And every time we tried to go into a bar, basically they wouldn't let us in. So in the end, we figured out I had to pretend that he was my Raji butler before we could go and drink anywhere. To be fair, I did play into it quite a bit, and I think I annoyed him slightly after a while. But he's basically the only way you could get.
I mean,
into
you
the
kept
bar.
using him as a footstool, so I mean that was a bad form.
Right. Oh yes, the next one. Okay, I tried to find a suitable video for this, but they were all so cringy I couldn't bear to put them up. But you know those beauty pageants they have with 4-year-olds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it.
But they do.
I don't know what type of American does it either, because when I ask Americans about this, even they're like, I don't do that. I don't know.
Really?
Anybody
It's
does
not.
that.
It's not a common thing then.
It doesn't seem to be. But
Right.
then who is doing it? Because it's happening.
Well, a lot of them must be because there's loads of loads of sort of documentaries and stuff about it. But anyway, I couldn't find one that I wanted to put on the screen because I just found them all so cringy. But instead, I found this extract from a film called Bad Grandpa. Let's have a look at this.
My bunny lies over the ocean. My bunny lies over the sea. My bunny lies over the ocean. Please bring back my bunny to me.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drink of water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make me groan and cry. Sweet cherry pie, yeah.
For those who are listening, it's taken a turn for the spicy.
Average American event. I don't know.
Yeah.
Locking it up.
I just love the mother's faces.
Swinging on the lawn.
The faces are superb. But the thing is, you made the point to me when I was watching this video in the office. You're saying, it shows how much this is aged. Because,
Yeah, this isn't edgy anymore.
yeah, this isn't.
I mean, if you film this now, half of them will be clapping along and being like, I
Well,
love
as long
breastfeeding
as
solutions.
there was a what's that thing we're not allowed to say anymore?
We're not allowed to say it. So.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say it. But
No.
those people who were one thing and now they're
No,
another thing.
no.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, but if you do an angle of that, you could get away with a lot more than that. So right, anyway, if you think I've made a suitable case for why American independence should be repealed, let me know in the comments. If we get
We
enough,
were the global superpower, but never mind. We'll become a county. Why? Because tipping culture.
well, yeah, no. If you think I made the case and we can build support for this, I will take it to the king and we will get that one sorted out. However, because it is your special day, America, I did decide to end on a couple of things I do like about America. So the first one is this: post boxes. Did you know that these bloody things transmit as well as receive?
What are you talking about?
No, seriously. Right. So you get your post put in them, but if you put that little thing up, it tells the postman that he can collect. So you can post from your own post box.
No way.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Seriously. That's what the little flag thing's for.
I thought that was the postman telling you there's something in it.
No, that's you saying that stuff needs to go out.
Sorry, so I don't even have to go to the post office. I just.
No. That's remarkable.
But then
isn't it?
why do they have all those post boxes? Because if your own,
Oh, I don't know.
maybe it's for the cities.
I don't know. Maybe it's for packages or something. That's
That
remarkable.
can't be true.
No, it's true. It's true. Somebody in the comments enlighten us, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Right. Second reason I like America is the films used to be really good in the 80s. Yes.
Was it 40 years too late for this?
Basically, we got till 1999, and then everything after that was bad. So in 1999, I made a list of the last good films. So it was Fight Club, Matrix, Sixth Sense, American Pie, Galaxy Quest, Austin Powers, and Analyze This. Right, that was the last good year, and after that, everything has been bad apart from Tropic Thunder.
You ever seen Robert Downey Jr. talk about that?
No.
Because he was asked, I mean, why did you sign up to do blackface? And he went, well, I thought about it, and I thought it might be career ending, so I thought I'd try it. So, apparently, when he thought it was really funny when they were talking about it, and then when he was blacking up, he then thought, oh, God, this might actually end my career. I'm not even. So, apparently, his mum even called up to tell him, you probably shouldn't be doing this.
Yes. Just a couple of years later, that film would never have got made.
No.
But well done. Right. And finally, one thing that I actually really do like America is this bit of text from my third ever favorite American. It is the Declaration of Independence. And actually, it is worth reading this out. And I've modified the text very slightly to make it a little bit more universal, okay? But, if you're French or German or, British or even modern American, you listen to this, right? And you tell me if this doesn't apply now, okay? So it goes like this. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind require that they should declare the causes which impel them the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted amongst men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government laying its foundations on such principles and organization and organize its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to provide safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that people are disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms by which they have become accustomed. But a long train of abuses, usurpations, pursuing invariably the same objective, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been our patient sufferance, and such is now the necessity to alter the former system of government. The history of the present government is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having the direct objective, the establishment of an absolute tyranny over us. Now, does that not describe exactly where we are today, anywhere in the West? That is why Thomas Jefferson is my third favourite American after Columbo. And, let's go out. Let's end this segment with a short extract from my first most favourite American, Johnny Cash.
And in her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, refused. And the very government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and she's wearing kind of thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, and she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we bring her down slowly every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I guess I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
Touching.
If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Brokenomics series, this episode on Investing Part 3 with Peter Lowry. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.